Welcome back to the channel, my fellow GH addicts. Today is Tuesday, and what a wildly dramatic day it is in Port Charles. I am sitting here typing furiously because I have opinions and I just need to get this all out of my system before I explode. Let's dive right in. I cannot believe they're doing this to Josslyn. I mean, are we seriously watching this right now? React first, explain later, right? Okay, so Josslyn Jax has officially made a secret deal with the WSB, specifically with Z, to secure the full release of Jason and Valentine Cassadine. And how is she doing this? By agreeing to help the WSB pin absolutely everything on Cassius, aka the fake Nathan West, who is now dead. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just pause and process the fact that Cassius is dead. We spent months thinking Nathan was resurrected, only to find out it was his secret twin, and now he is a corpse being used as a convenient scapegoat for the WSB. I know some people are loving this dark twist, but personally, I am devastated for Liesl Obrecht. But back to Josslyn. She is playing 4D chess with the federal government. She is trading a dead man's reputation for the freedom of her mob enforcer, uncle figure, and her mother's fugitive boyfriend. It is so incredibly ruthless, and honestly, it is the most Carly-esque thing Josslyn has ever done. She is officially her mother's daughter, mixed with Jason's cold, calculating logic. But here's where it gets incredibly messy, and where my heart just shatters into a million pieces. Because of this deal with Z, the public can never know the truth about what Ross Cullum did, which means Josslyn has to go to Lucas Jones and deliver an apology that is basically a giant slap in the face. She has to ask Lucas to keep his mouth shut about the fact that Cullum killed Marco Rios. Am I the only one who thinks this is unimaginably cruel to Lucas? Lucas has been mourning Marco in silence for months. He just took 2 bullets to the chest from Jen Sidwell in a highly dangerous sting operation just to get some semblance of justice. And now Josslyn is standing there telling him that Cullum's crimes are going to be buried forever? Because she needs Jason and Valentine to go free? I am sorry, but Lucas has every right to be absolutely furious. He won't be happy about it. And honestly, he shouldn't be. Remember when they tried this kind of cover-up with the whole Phazon mask debacle years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. Secrets like this always explode in Port Charles, and I am dreading the moment Lucas decides he can't stomach the lie anymore. And speaking of people who are furious, can we talk about the teen scene for a minute? Because Danny and Rocco Falconeri are giving the veteran actors a run for their money right now. Danny is absolutely ripping into Rocco for his deception, and I am entirely here for it. Danny is so incredibly angry that Rocco let Jason take the fall for shooting Ross Cullum. Because of course Jason took the fall. Jason always takes the fall. The man has made a literal career out of going to prison for crimes he didn't commit just to protect the people he loves. But Danny has lost his mother Sam so recently, and the thought of losing his father to a federal prison because Rocco pulled the trigger and ran away is pushing Danny over the edge. But then Rocco defends himself, and you kinda have to see his point, even if it makes you want to pull your hair out. Rocco points out that he only shot Cullum to save Jason's life. He wasn't trying to be a cold-blooded killer, he was protecting his family. But Danny is having none of it. Danny argues that if Rocco wants to play the hero, he needs to be a hero again and tell the absolute truth to clear Jason's name. It is such a brilliant parallel to the dynamic between Jason and Dante back in the day, the mob loyalty versus the badge, the gray areas of morality. It won't be that simple for Rocco to just confess, especially with Britt Westbourne involved, but the tension between these two boys is palpable. And speaking of the Falconeri Spencer drama, Lulu is officially back in full force, and she is not playing games. Lulu finds out that Charlotte Cassidy knew Valentine was hiding out at Carly's place for months, and she absolutely loses her mind. Lulu fumes over this shocking news, and honestly, can you blame her? Her son is on the run, her entire life is upside down, and Charlotte has been sitting on this massive secret about her fugitive father living in Carly's guest room. Lulu declares that they are not finished and literally drags Charlotte off with her while Danny is still screaming at Rocco. It is such a classic Spencer move. Lulu channeling her inner Luke and Laura, taking charge, and refusing to let a Cassadine get away with their usual secretive nonsense. I love seeing this fiery side of Lulu again. Okay, let's take a breath and pivot to something that actually made me laugh out loud. Because amidst all this heavy trauma, the writers gave us a pure comedic goldmine. Sonny Corinthos pays a visit to Ethan Lovett at General Hospital. Now, remember, Ethan is currently recovering from taking a bullet to the literal butt in the gallery storeroom while trying to protect Ava Jerome. Sonny walks into that hospital room and jokingly asks, "What the hell did you let Ava Jerome do to you?" I screamed. It is just so perfectly Sonny. He is dealing with Jen Sidwell, he is dealing with the WSB, his entire family is in crisis, but he still finds the time to go tease Ethan about a butt wound. But it also highlights how crazy Ethan's trajectory has been. He went from trying to fake a paternity test for baby Phoebe to taking a bullet for Jerome. Ava used a drop cloth to stop the bleeding in that storeroom, and Ethan was so delirious, he confessed he wasn't Phoebe's biological dad. And now Sonny is standing over his bed cracking jokes. It is the exact kind of soap opera absurdity that keeps me tuning in every single day. But the laughs do not last long, because we have to talk about what is happening in lockup. Britt Westbourne is currently behind bars, and she is losing her mind. She is shown shouting at someone to get out and leave her alone. We don't know yet if it's Dante coming to interrogate her about Rocco, or if it's some shady WSB agent trying to pressure her, but Britt is clearly having a horribly rough time. She has been on the run. She thought she was dying of Huntington's disease, which we now know was likely saline trickery, orchestrated by Cullum or Sidwell, and now she is locked in a cell while her family is falling apart. Britt has survived so much, from Faison's abuse to losing Jason, and seeing her break down like this is just gut-wrenching. I just want someone to hug her and tell her it's going to be okay. And if you think Britt has it bad, we need to prepare ourselves for the absolute emotional devastation that is about to hit Nina Reeves and Liesl Obrecht. Nina is going to be utterly devastated when she learns the truth about Nathan. She thought her brother was resurrected. We all thought Nathan was back. But it was Cassius all along. And now, Cassius is deceased too. Nina has to mourn her brother all over again, and she has to mourn the twin she never really got to know. But Liesl? Oh my god. Liesl Obrecht is going to be crushed into dust. Kathleen Gotti is going to deliver an Emmy-winning performance, mark my words. Liesl just found out that Madeline lied to her, that Cassius survived birth, that Nathan was cremated and his ashes were scattered in the ocean. She slapped Cassius across the face in that Windermere cell out of pure grief. And now he is dead. Both of her sons are gone. And to make matters infinitely worse, Liesl is going to have a massive problem with the WSB trying to make Cassius the scapegoat for Ross Cullum's horrible actions. Because, let's be real, Cassius wasn't a saint. He helped Sidwell escape, he held Josslyn captive. But he wasn't the monster that Cullum is. Cullum murdered Marco Rios. Cullum kidnapped Liesl and dumped her in a cell. Cullum tried to kill Brennan. And now the WSB, with Josslyn's help, is going to pin Cullum's body count on Liesl's dead son. Liesl is going to unleash hell on Port Charles. I am calling it right now. She is going to go after Z, she's going to go after Josslyn, and she's going to tear the WSB apart piece by piece. Which brings me back to Z and Carly. Carly is at the WSB, relentlessly pressuring Z to free Josslyn from their clutches. Carly wants her daughter out of this dangerous spy game immediately. But Z ends up getting rather flirty during this intense discussion. Yes, you heard me right. John Oliver's character is flirting with Laura Wright's Carly while they discuss federal crimes. Carly, being Carly, bluntly asks if he is hitting on her. And Z just smirks and asks, "Is it working?" I mean, the audacity of this man. I know I should be mad that he's holding Josslyn's future hostage, but the chemistry is kind of undeniable. But despite the flirting, Z makes his intentions crystal clear. He tells Carly that Josslyn just proves she is far too valuable to lose at this point. Josslyn orchestrated a deal that ties up all the WSB's loose ends perfectly. Z envisions a very bright future for Josslyn within the WSB. So Carly does not get her wish. Josslyn is not walking away from this. She is in the web now. But on the bright side, because we desperately need one, Carly is going to learn that Valentine and Jason are officially set to be released, thanks to Josslyn's machinations. The boys are coming home. Jason will be free to reunite with Danny, which might finally calm Danny down before he strangles Rocco. And Valentine will be free to reunite with Carly, which means we are going to get that grand romantic gesture he has been planning. So, to summarize this absolute roller coaster, Josslyn is a WSB mastermind, trading a dead man's legacy for her family's freedom. Lucas is being forced to swallow a bitter injustice. Danny and Rocco are tearing each other apart over Jason's martyrdom. Lulu is dragging Cassidines by the ear. Sonny is making butt jokes in a hospital. Britt is screaming in a cell, and the Obrecht women are about to burn the world down in grief. This show is firing on all cylinders right now. The pacing, the character beats, the emotional payoffs, it is everything I want from a soap opera. I am dreading the fallout for Lucas and Liesl, but I am so incredibly here for Josslyn's dark era and whatever the heck is going to happen between Carly and Z. What do you guys think? Are you Team Danny or Team Rocco? Do you think Lucas will actually keep the secret? Let me know, because I'm going to be obsessing over this until tomorrow's episode.